night.
Spike night.
Spike night.
Pac-12 volleyball.
It is the match that you have been waiting for.
Ready to get the ball in the air.
UCLA is trying to win a conference championship.
Wow, she's crushing it.
Big time swing. An absolute hammer.
That's what I'm talking about.
Big time play from a big time player.
This is going to be a very competitive match.
How about a spike night in the desert?
Fans are ready to make some noise here at the McHale Center for Zona Zoo Night and some Pac-12 volleyball. It's Spike Night presented by Tachikara. The number 13 UCLA Bruins have made their way to Tucson to take on the Arizona Wildcats. Hi everybody, thanks for being with us. I'm Krista Bluck along with Tammy Blackburn. And Tammy, these two teams both have some very young talent, but they also have a couple of key veterans that they lean on. For Arizona, they lean on Kendra Dahlke.
Well, and they should. Listen, she had a breakout season last year as a sophomore in 2016, and what a wonderful player she has been in this junior season. 3.15 kills per set. That's going to lead Arizona. Tied the season high, 19 kills Sunday at Cal, even though they lost that match. And Kristen, there's absolutely no doubt they want this girl taking as many swings as they can, but she's also got some good players around her.
Well, and on the other side, they're going up against a player. She's a double-double machine, and that is Riley Bushler.
Riley Bushler is somebody, again, that will also take a lot of swings like Kendra Dahlke on the other side of the net for Arizona. The Sunday versus Wazoo, 21 kills, one air, almost an airless match there. Hit 465. Listen, she's been consistent throughout her career from the beginning, freshman all the way through now.
Bruins have not won here since 2010. Can they break that streak? We'll find out. It's Spike Night, presented by Tachikara. Number 13 UCLA and Arizona next on Pac-12 Network. Pac-12 Women's Volleyball is presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring the game. Here in Tucson, Arizona, ready for some Pac-12 Women's Volleyball. We've got the Spike Night for you, presented by Tachikara, and a ranked number 13 UCLA Bruins team in town to take on the Arizona Wildcats. Here at the McHale Center, let's take a look at the starting lineups for Mike Seeley's team. Mac May is in the opposite position. There's Riley Bushler and Jenna Moser. And Madeline Gates will be in the middle along with Kyra Rogers. Sarah Sponsel, new setter for the Bruins this season. And Zana Muno will be the libero tonight. On the other side for the Wildcats and for Dave Rubio, Paige Whipple will be outside with Kendra Dahlke, and Elizabeth Shelton gets a starting nod. Devin Cross and Mackenzie Jacobson in the middle. And then there's Juliet Patterson, a sophomore setter, to go with McKenna Martin, who gets to start in the libero position tonight. So Dave Rubio making a couple of changes and tweaks as they go along. We're glad you are with us here. Krista Blunt along with Tammy Blackburn in the all-time series. UCLA leads it, Tammy, but as of late, it's really been Arizona that's kind of dominated.
Yeah, in fact, Dave Rubio was talking about that, and he knows how athletic his team is and talented, but you just mentioned it. Dave Rubio changing some things up. A bit of a revolving door. We'll see how they face tonight. I think this is going to be an all-out competitive battle.
McKenna Martin, a sophomore, number 22, the libero, gets the start instead of Kimberly Gutierrez. He said, doesn't matter who's wearing that libero jersey. All that matters is that we get out there and hustle, and first point of this one will go the Bruins' way.
Be really important for both of these teams to establish the middle attack with great pin hitters on both sides.
Swing from Shelton and going deep, and it's Riley Bushler finding that back corner.
When you can get your middles involved, you're going to open up some things on the outside for players like Riley Bushler, right? And she doesn't need a whole lot of work getting things opened up. I mean, she's that player who we talked about in the Open, has been consistent, just a great repertoire, carries a very heavy load, an all-around player.
Serve from Kyra Rogers. The back set to Paige Whipple, one of the talented freshmen who's in the starting lineup. Getting a hand on that one is Martin in the back. Bushler and the touch as Martin could not get out of the way of that one. There's no doubt that one was going to go long, and she knew it just too late.
Yeah, UCLA does a really nice job of staying in it, right? Good defense, and then you were able to see Kyra Rogers, who was able to get a bump set up to the outside there, just stepping in and doing what she needed to do to get that kill.
Set from Patterson outside to Shelton. And a free ball over to the Wildcats. In the middle to Cross. There's Martin again with the save. Wildcats, great hustle, keeping it alive. Good reaction time by Elizabeth Shelton at the net. And in the middle, off the block and the finish, Madeline Gates, the sophomore, with the kill.
Good rally. I mean, I think what you're going to see is you're going to see two athletic teams, talented teams. Dave Rubio made no bones about it. He said, we have a lot of good talent in the positions. We're really just trying to see if we can perform in training and in the matches at an elite level, and they're going against an elite team.
Dalkey out of the back, and somehow the Bruins keep it alive. Big hustle. And that's just a lift call there on the Wildcats. So now a 5-0 start for the UCLA Bruins. And interesting, though, Tammy, because Michael Seeley had told us we get ourselves in a hole sometimes. We kind of get started late. Not the case here tonight in set number 1. Number 13, UCLA at 5-0 here in set 1. Back at the McHale Center, Pac-12 Women's Volleyball. It's Spike Night presented by Tachikara, and the Pac-12, Tammy, doing very well. Two teams up the top, Stanford and USC, have yet to be beaten in conference play, but it's very close right behind.
It is, and how about Colorado? They're back in the top 25 of the AVCA coaches poll this week after upsetting number 12 Oregon in 4 sets. Buffs are ranked number 25. Good to see them back in the mix, so 7 teams this week ranked.
Yeah, absolutely. Great to see for the conference. And it's going to be that kind of season as out of the timeout, Elizabeth Shelton, they go to her. She gets the touch. So the first point for the Wildcats. Good timeout for Dave Rubio and his team.
They needed to be able to get on the board, right? It's all about organization and making the right calls and being there. UCLA really came out strong.
Serve from Paige Whipple, freshman from Salem, Oregon. And just getting the fingertips on it was Gates. Big swing and the finish. Riley Bushler connects.
The thing that you'll see about UCLA is not only the talent, but when they are in system, they are incredibly efficient. You've got Zana Muno as the libero, but you've got an incredibly athletic and gifted, talented, hardworking Sarah Sponsel in the setter position, one of the best. She can better a ball and put it up in a hittable window for these great pin hitters, and also work the middle as well.
Service ace from Mac May, the freshman from Dubuque, Iowa. She's the leader on this team. That's her 14th on the season. Phenomenal season so far for her as the Wildcats watch that one just drop in. Back set and slide play to Gates, and it falls in. The point to the Bruins.
That's just how accurate Sponsel is. That's just a beautiful backslide, and they're able to execute the slide on this one. Earlier, though, for Arizona, look at the work by Julia Patterson. Top 4 in the conference in assists, but also getting down, trying to dig something out.
So another timeout. Dave Rubio going to try to settle his Wildcats down here on their home court. Zona Zoo Night here at McHale Center. Here in Tucson, Arizona, the fans have made their way out for some Pac-12 women's volleyball. And Dave Rubio, the head coach of the Wildcats, finds his team down 8-1 here in set number 1. 26th season, he's the Pac-12's active leader in wins. Just incredible. He's been in this conference for a very long time, Tammy.
Yep, he's done a really good job. He's an old school guy, absolutely. When I think about Dave Rubio, I think he is somebody that I could play for. He has that kind of style, that kind of management of his team. He asks his team to perform and practice and really train as elite athletes. He doesn't really worry about stuff that happens on the floor because he says the result will come when you train at the best level, and I believe in that.
And that's where the focus is with this very young team. This is a team that has just 2 seniors, and that's another great timeout. And they find Kendra Dalkey. And she has to be the one. He told us, they said, you start the season, you have hope, you have optimism. He said, you graduate 5 starters from a season before, and then you've got to regroup, and you got to hope that those upperclassmen can step up, and they just haven't been consistent enough.
And you also mentioned youth, right? Freshmen and sophomores account for 52% of Arizona's kills, 92% of their assists. So it's a young team and talented. You could say the same about this UCLA squad.
Absolutely.
In terms of being young as well. Madeline Gates, number 16, you saw her right there. An underclassman, a sophomore.
Serve from Bushler, a tough one, but the Wildcats get a little something out of it. It comes back over, and it's Jacobson in the middle. Both teams out of system. There's a tip from Whipple. Back set to Dalkey. Salvi Simos checked in. She was able to get the pass and then the put away by the Bruins.
And out of the back, right? So back row attack. You've got Riley Bushler there who's able. So you've got some fronts for UCLA who are very capable. But look at Sponsel go up and really better this ball for Riley Bushler to be an attacker out of the back.
Dahlke gonna go to the go-to. Bushler with the one-handed save. Just great defense on both sides. The block, a hand on it. What a save by Muno. What a rally from both sides. And the block by the Wildcats gets the point.
Very good job by both teams. Look at Dahlke on the block. Doesn't even penetrate the net. It's just her expansion of those long arms, and then she's able to finish it on the other side. With the defense coming for her, of course, we know what she does offensively. She rates top 10 in the conference in kills. You're getting it from both places from Kendra Dahlke.
Gutierrez in with the service. High set to Moser. Dahlke. The back left corner was open and she nailed it.
Another nice job by McKenna Martin, the libero for Arizona, to get that ball up enough to Julia Patterson, the sophomore setter, who does this with it, gets it to Dahlke, and Dahlke uses that back as well as the line. Nice corner and good line.
The setter, Julia Patterson, has been consistent for the Wildcats. And that one just goes wide as they try to go down the line. It was Moser again. Jenny Moser, the freshman from Lakeville, Minnesota.
Quick tempo there for UCLA. They can run that quick tempo. That was a great pass. Sarah Sponsel with another great quick set on the outside. Doesn't happen for UCLA. Chance for Arizona, Krista, to close the gap a little bit.
Yeah, they cut it to 5. And the serve just goes wide, and the Wildcats hoping for a touch, but they're able to get out of the way. Zana Muno, junior from Hermosa Beach, California. She's had double-figure digs now.
You might want to watch for the short serve here. Doesn't choose that one, but Martin has to be prepared for that short if she's ready. Great block.
Slide play by Jacobson as she came around and
Out of bounds, though.
yeah, good movement
Execution there.
by Jenny Moser, but could not finish. Point for the Wildcats.
Jacobson off the hands. Nicely done.
And a tip. What a read by Kyra Rogers. I didn't know if she was going to get there, but she did.
Well, that's her ability to be able to better something. I mean, just a little bit off timing from Sponsel on that set, right? So the timing just wasn't there. They didn't connect on that one. But look what she's able to do. She's able to read, and she's able to tip that ball, put that thing right down in the hole in the defense.
Oh, second ball over. The Bruins are there, though. Great hustle from Gutierrez as it was Moser trying to tip. And Moser gets the touch, gets the back line, and gets a point.
The more you watch Moser play, the more you see that her ability to look at different shots and see the court continues to improve. And she's done a fantastic job, a great senior year last year out of high school, 5'11" freshman with a really good arm.
Serve from Sponsel, off the shoulder of Bushler. And there's Mac May, big swing, out of bounds. It goes to the Bruins. Mac May, the freshman out of Iowa. She's had 6 double-figure kill matches this season. And here's Sarah Sponsel, the talented setter from Phoenix. Transfer from LMU and just misses on the service.
You had mentioned Mac May. Mac May was named Pac-12 Conference Freshman of the Week on September 25th after producing a pair of double-figure kills. She was really good in the non-conference season. I had a chance to watch her play against Loyola Marymount. A spectacular player, a huge upside to her.
Jacobson serve just long, so a service error. It gives a point to the Bruins. And it'll be Jenny Moser back. Just the inconsistencies, too many errors. That's what Coach Michael Seeley said that, they talked about, just cleaning some things up. And there's a nice swing and finish from Paige Whipple. Paige Whipple, a player that Dave Rubio says, we're going to build this program around her. The freshman from Salem, Oregon. He said she's physical, But you can rely on her. She's dependable. She's consistent. But she's still young. She's going to have her ups and downs.
High accolades, highly touted out of high school, number 27 recruit nationally.
Whipple part of the block there. The tip, and it's sent right back by Shelton. There's a swing from Kyra Rogers in the middle, and it goes down.
You know, it's interesting. We talked with Michael Seeley earlier, and we talked about his youth, and he said we just don't have enough time in the non-conference or preseason training to really worry about the fact that we're young. We've got to be able to learn in match and be able to adjust. And you can see right now that UCLA is actually continuing to adjust and improve here in this first set.
Okay, so it's kind of a Jekyll and Hyde team at times. Bruins want the touch. They will get it. And the Wildcats say no. And Dave Rubio asking his team, did you do it? Did you touch it or not? They're saying no, we did not. So they will go to a review. He picks up the green card.
Challenge.
The challenge is there. He'll hand it over to Peter Meyer, our lower official.
There are 4 things that you can, we're going to show you here on the graphics, 4 things that you can actually challenge on.
Each team gets 3 challenges per match.
Ball touch contact, player 4 or more. Net touches, ball in or out. Foot faults. We've seen a few net touch challenge calls, and I've seen quite a few this season, ball in or out. So our referees will go over and take a look. And Christy, you mentioned that each team gets 3 challenges.
See if they can see the touch. Bruins immediately said yeah. Of course, Riley Bushler said yeah. And the Wildcats said immediately, no way. Devin Cross, pretty adamant about it.
And for me, the ball can, is displaced and moves, clearly out of bounds.
It's a matter of can they get the answer they need? Is it a conclusive view? And they will say there was a touch. So it will go to the Bruins.
She wiped it off the outer hand, I felt, on that attack there.
There's Ryan McDowell.
Rogers with a service error for UCLA.
(17-9). The Bruins up here in set 1. And the Wildcats trying to regroup. They have the block there, but it goes out. So another point to UCLA.
I like the idea by Paige Whipple to try to short serve that right to the middle, actually, but it doesn't take the outside out of the mix. And look at how Mac May is able to close out. She terminates and tools using that block.
And just catching the back line, frustrated with herself. McKenna Martin lets that one go.
I'm not sure if Martin really knew exactly where she was on the court. She's so good at reading those, cutting off her angles and her awareness. I think she maybe was a step more forward than perhaps she thought.
Second ace of the match for Mac May. There's a swing from Shelton. It comes back. Dalkey has to wait on it, and she's far off the net. The block there for UCLA.
UCLA is coming and attacking. They've got great tempo. They're clean. Their passing is good. They're getting the sets, opportunities that they want.
Wildcats go to the middle. They'll get the touch. That time, Devin Cross, the sophomore from Edwards Air Force Base, California. Great hops, and they've shifted her into a little bit of a new position this year, and it's not necessarily exactly where she wants to be, but she's so solid on the block. Got to have her out there. She's still working on the slide.
Yeah, she is, and she'll continue to work her footwork and try to get that right. She can be effective.
Upset to Dalkey. She goes cross court, gets the touch. Point to Arizona.
Amazing for me that she was a role player in 2015. Her freshman campaign came back and had a sensational sophomore season. What a breakout year it was. Now as a junior, this team leans on her.
Yeah, very different role, but there's several players for Arizona after graduating 5 starters.
Krista, sometimes you have to sit behind the best and learn from the best in order to wait and be patient to have your time, but it's what you do with that time when you get an opportunity.
And they called Jacobson on that one as she interfered. Yeah.
The interference call. You can see it nicely in the replay.
Candace Denny has checked in, number 2 for the Wildcats, 6'2" freshman from Saratoga, California. Bushler with the serve. Dalkey off the block. Moser, they've been looking to her a lot, the Bruins have. They go to her again. Quick in the middle to Denny. And the tip. Set in the middle this time to Gates, and she puts it away.
Arizona just in a situation where Dalkey actually had to push that one over, maybe couldn't recycle it long enough because Muno was able to get this ball to Sarah Sponsel, who just is able to set up the hitters right at the net to be effective.
Back set and the slide to Denny and the overpass. And it was Shelton that was there, a net violation by the Bruins, so it'll go back to Arizona.
Elizabeth Shelton out. Kimberly Gutierrez back in. There's a look at number 16 for UCLA, Madeline Gates.
Gutierrez, a senior transfer from USF. Martin tries to save it, and they do. Great hustle by Paige Whipple as well. Moser into the block. Denny. Nice up from the back, and Muno, but the block's starting to pick up for the Wildcats.
And great job there in blocks. Let's not forget the Wildcats entered last week 18th nationally in blocks per set with nearly 3. Now, they only had 7 total blocks in 8 sets last week in the Bay Area, but this team's got the ability to put up the big block, and they did.
Pass off the mark, and Dalkey was there. And Arizona chipping away.
Yeah, you see these stints of brilliance, right? And they just got to be able to rattle off. Now, they're in a big hole. This is an awful huge hole to try to climb out of.
Thanks in big part to some serving by Kimberly Gutierrez, who's come in. Moser off the block. Second ball taken over, and waiting was Muno. And that one's not going to clear the net. Another point for the Wildcats.
An unfortunate hitting error there by Jenny Mosier. Sarah Sponsel better to ball right before this, but got another good look to Jenny Mosier, who just couldn't quite get the hit that she wanted. Good rally here for Gutierrez in Arizona.
Tough serve. Tip by Gates. Dalkey misconnects on that one. So the Bruins will get another chance, just 2 points away from taking set 1. Here's Zana Muno, junior libero.
Nice call off by Gutierrez.
Dalkey trying to get some contact. Had to just swat at that one as that set was a bit off. Set point for the Bruins. Tough serve from Muno. Bump set out to Dalkey. And getting a hand on it, it's Simo. Bruins able to save it. Out of the back, they try to go to Paige Whipple, but she cannot clear the net, and set number 1 will go to the Bruins.
UCLA looked clean. They won the serving pass in that set for sure. They were able to get good passes, which gave them the sets they want, and Sarah Sponsel can run a mean offense. She was a big key to that.
So the Bruins taking set number 1. We'll have set 2 for you right after this on Pac-12 Network.
You're watching.
Let's go, Dr. Pepperhead. Let's go.
Back at the McHale Center here in Tucson, Arizona for Spike Night presented by Tachikara. Number 13 UCLA took set number 1 moments ago. Chris LeBlanc along with Tammy Blackburn, and it was thanks in big part to Riley Bushler, Tammy.
She's 4 kills, 0 errors, total 6 attempts. She's hitting .667. And she literally is doing quite a bit of work. She's got 2 digs. And She's got 7 serve receives. She's doing a lot of good work in the back. I love how Sarah Sponsel, this UCLA Bruin club, was able to actually set her out of the back. So again, she's that all-around player. She's got a tough load, right? She's got to defend. She's very good in terms of being able to kind of control that back line when she needs to. She puts up very good passing. Sarah Sponsel's a heck of an athlete. But look at the lopsided stats here that we're checking out, Krista. That 300% hitting for UCLA to Arizona's 103. Each team has 3 service errors, but for Arizona, they played so much in that first set out of system that you really can't get the looks that you want, whether you're trying to run the slide, the middle, the quick, or even on the outsides for the pin hitters.
Yeah, just Arizona definitely just needing to clean a few areas up. And you see the service errors, both teams with 3, but the 2 service aces makes you feel a little bit better if you are the Bruins. So we'll see if Arizona can regroup. They really just got started off on the wrong foot, and then they couldn't quite get themselves back.
That big hole, 5-0, where Dave Rubio had to call a quick and early timeout. I did think that they came back in the middle of the match, and they rallied off some good points on some clean volleyball, but they just need to sustain that.
And, he told us, he said, we are a young team, but our team's playing age is young. Even some of the veteran players, juniors or seniors, haven't been starters. They have very different roles as that one goes out of bounds, and the first point will go to the Bruins.
Again, it's that revolving door. He talked about that, and he said, we're really having to move these pieces around and really trying to see where we're good, when we're good. And you really learn what you're made of when you go up against, great teams. And this is a great UCLA team.
The tip from Whipple somehow finds the floor, and she keeps herself out of the net. Tied up, 1 apiece.
Again, another really good read by the freshman out of Salem, Oregon, right there, number 10 for Arizona, highly recruited, number 27th recruit in the nation, an AVCA All-American honorable mention, a huge part of the future of this program.
Julia Patterson with the serve. And that one hits the scoreboard up top, which
is playable if it's on your side.
Yeah.
So you have to play that off. Came off weird.
Yeah.
It moved, and that's unfortunate.
And Coach Rubio frustrated.
And there's nothing Shelton can do, number 17, and certainly not on Patterson.
Big swing and a finish as Bushler's able to tool that one through the block. They list her at 6'1". She's got big hops and a lot of power in that swing. Leader in kills, led the team last year also in that category.
Her mom, Lindsay, was a setter here at Arizona, so she's playing on her mom's home floor.
Yeah. And that's a nice swing there from Paige Whipple as she's able to go down the line into the back corner.
Speaking of moms who played volleyball, Paige Whipple too. Her mom, Taffy,
yeah,
was a volleyball player at Western Oregon.
Western Oregon.
Krista, I got to give a big shout out to you for finding that little nugget.
Yeah.
Good stat find by you.
You're welcome.
It's all you.
It's all me. Me and Taffy. Whipple. It's going to be fun watching her development. And Coach Rubio says she's the future. She's the kind of player we want to build around. She's got the right mindset. It's all about training and coming in and training the right way, and that's hard to really understand until you get into conference play even, and you start playing Pac-12 schools and you realize what it takes. Is now the Wildcats settling down a little bit and getting into a little bit more of a rhythm.
Yeah, a little bit better here, but you're absolutely right with Paige Whipple, and then you've got some young talent, sitting around her. You talked about Elizabeth Shelton, who Dave Rubio is enormous on, a huge vote of confidence. And then you got Kendra Dahlke right there, number 8. She's a junior. She's going to have another year with these young players who are getting great court experience.
Yeah, definitely so. Slide play by Gates down the line. The Wildcats, I'm impressed with both teams. They've really gotten their hands on everything, it seems. And that time, the tip by Gates goes down.
Madeline Gates, what a read. She is just playing some great volleyball for UCLA. She's a two-sport athlete, a very good basketball player, obviously a heck of a volleyball player. She seals the net defensively and makes good reads offensively.
And we've talked about new roles as the Wildcats go to the middle. Candace Denny just misses wide. But when you have young players, when you have big graduations of some key players, as the Bruins did, also just one starter back from a season ago, and only a couple of seniors, you've got players taking on some different roles. Takes time. There's a swing by Dahlke, and Simo not able to handle it.
UCLA trying to serve at Dahlke, doesn't take her out of her attack. She receives that serve, good pass. They go right back to her. I like that. Gets rewarded for it. A huge hit. UCLA ball control. They can't dig it out. Point Arizona.
Gutierrez with the serve. She did some damage in set number 1. Dalkey off the block. Big hustle by Jenny Moser, but the Bruins not able to save it, and now it's just a 1-point deficit for the Wildcats.
I love that read by Dalkey. Watch, she's going to go inside the block. Use the hands on the inside. There's nobody up front there. Moser makes a great effort diving for the pancake, but a nice hard hit. Heavy ball. Good pass by Buechler.
Backs up to Gates. Whipple's there in the back. They'll go to her again. There's the block by the Bruins. Dalkey tries to roll that one over. It's the antenna, so it goes to UCLA.
One thing you want to notice is Jenny Moser, right? She's not, her hitting percentage is not reflective of what she can do offensively, but her defense at the net, she's 5'11". She gets up, and she's great at the net with her blocks, and she's standing right there behind Kyra Rogers. A very good two-sport athlete in track and volleyball. Her athletic ability lets her be a great defensive player for this Bruins team.
Very athletic, and now Dave Rubio questioning, because there was net contact, there was a lot happening in that last play, really, I thought, prior to the ball hitting the antenna. So it'll be interesting to see what he is going to challenge here. Did the blocker hit it off the antenna, I guess, is the question.
So Gates blocked it, and it immediately hit the antenna. That's what I saw live, and that's what I see on the replay. Gates number 16 there. She was closing out the block on the inside, the outside blocker trying to set it.
So second challenge for Dave Rubio. Did not win the first one in set number 1. We'll see what happens here on this one, but I think he may win this one.
It's Gates' right hand, and you see Arizona tried to go high hands. Dalkey tried to go high hands. I think certainly Ryan McDowell is going to have to, after reviewing this, call that ball off the right hand of Gates, hitting the antenna.
Madeline Gates, a sophomore out of San Diego, played in just 12 matches last year. We talk about players taking on new roles. Plays in 12 matches last year. She's a starter this year, and she's been doing very well. She's been their most consistent hitter. She's coming in at .320 on the season, and they're blocking as well.
The consummate team player, you know, when talking to her about why she loves the sport, she says because every player is an important part of each play and every set and every match. She says, and that she wants to be in a sport that's involved. Here she is blocking again, which is the play under review. Ryan McDowell, our referee, taking a look at Gates and the block. Did it hit the antenna? There's Ryan McDowell.
The anticipation with the reviews, I think I like it.
I do. I like it. Now, not every facility actually has the review in play.
And once again, Dave Rubio not going to win that one. He doesn't agree. I don't think we agree either, but it doesn't matter. It's however they see it in the review, and Ryan McDowell saw it differently, so the point will go to UCLA. It's a fast sport. It's hard to catch everything in real time, and out of that break, a good one, Candace Denny on the slide. Freshman out of Saratoga, California.
I like that mindset for Arizona, to lose that challenge and to come out and get that point, take it right back away from UCLA, keeping this a close set number 2.
Serve from Dalkey. Back set to Rogers, and she just goes wide.
Different feel here in set number 2 from Arizona team. They're playing with good energy. I think they're trying to figure things out. They were unorganized a bit in that set number 1 and playing a lot out of system. They're getting better looks this time. Rotation is good. Dalkey, with the service there. That takes the wind out of your sails there. That's tough.
It does. Tough timing from Dalkey and the service error. Mac May comes back into the front row. Here's Sarah Sponsel back to serve. Two-time All-American honorable mention out of LMU, the transfer. She led the team in kills, Tammy. She was a hitter for LMU.
WCC Defensive Player of the Year. It was interesting. They actually played LMU in the non-conference about 3 weeks back, and she knew a couple players on the team, had friendships with them, but on the court she was all business as they took care of LMU in 3.
Well, pretty remarkable that she can step in. The Bruins need a setter, and she's capable of setting, and she's been a setter in her past as she sends this one over and it drops, but it's another thing to come into a Pac-12 school and become the starting setter.
And that consistent at this level, performing at this level, but her work ethic is unmatched. And Michael Seeley would tell you she's just a great athlete. Now when you put a great work ethic with a great athlete, oftentimes a great result happens.
Oh, beautiful pancake from Gutierrez, and boy, I thought she had it. They'll say nope, it hit the court, and it'll be interesting to see Dave Rubio if he's going to take that third challenge. They want him to pick up the green card.
He's going for it.
He's like, I might as well.
Yeah. There it is.
Might as well use it.
Ryan McDowell doesn't, he won't take it.
Gutierrez, I thought she got there, and I'm blocked a little bit by the up official, but I was, and it's a matter of, did she just get a finger on it in the rest court, or was her hand actually underneath?
So Ryan McDowell back to the review monitor.
I thought she had a lot of hand there,
That
but
hand is underneath there.
see if he gets the right angle and the right vantage point.
Chris, I was wrong on the last one, so I'm just going to zip it until Ryan McDowell makes his decision.
Yeah, I know, we're jinxing the Wildcats, I think. Just checking to see if the senior libero from Tijuana, Mexico, part of the Mexican national team, the transfer from USF. 6th all-time in career digs with over 1,100 out of USF in just 3 seasons.
Recognized by the WCC. So a couple of former WCC, we just talked about Sarah Sponsel transferring from LMU. And we know that Kimberly Gutierrez from San Francisco. And Ryan McDowell is calling a thumbs up, and that was a...
Yeah. So because of the stoppage, that's a win for Dave Rubio. And this crowd liking it. Good crowd here tonight. It's Zona Zoo night, and we'll replay it. Whipple. Muno gets a hand on it. Bump set to Whipple, gets a lot on it, but big hustle from Zana Muno. And another free ball for the Wildcats. Whipple this time.
So the last challenge, which was Rubio's second challenge, they didn't win. They come out, they get the point. They win this challenge, a replay of the point, and Arizona coming right back again. Momentum, good energy in this second set. They tie things up.
Yeah, that's a big positive. And how you want to see your team respond as just missing. It was Patterson going long.
I think the challenge by Dave Rubio has fired up his team because they come out and they win. They're 3 for 3 in terms of coming out and winning points.
And he said, we're definitely a team that doesn't back down. There's a lot of talent on this team, and it's just been a little inconsistent, but they're not just going to back down. Powerful swing from Elizabeth Shelton.
Dave Rubio thinks that Shelton can be one of the best players to come out of Arizona, and that is saying a lot for the program. Players that have come from this school, unbelievable, but you see the kind of talent she has.
Yeah, when he said it, I thought, are you kidding? I mean, you're talking players like Kalei Mao and Maddie Kingdon, and the list goes on and on. But I can see where he's coming from now. The joust. It was cross up at the net and a net violation against the Wildcats. A tough break for Devin Cross.
You see it right here, and obviously on the way down.
Great effort, though, on the other side by Gates. Bushler. Good hustle from the Wildcats. They send it over, and they get the point. I don't know how they did this one.
Well, it's great effort there, right? Look at Patterson again. How many times have we seen her? Remember, she's the setter. She is a heck of a defender as well.
Tied up 11 apiece here in set 2. That was McKenna Martin, and she knew she had to get behind the line, and she got there. And that time, though, the put away by Riley Bushler, one of 2 seniors for the Bruins out of Del Mar, California. Quick to Candace Denny, pass off the mark. Nice net play from Sponsel. She saw an opening in that back corner, trying to get there. Back set, there's Shelton with some power.
Yeah, great transition for Arizona. Quick, Shelton to her touch point on the outside, calling for it. And look at what Whipple does. She gets Patterson the opportunity to set Shelton, who's going to work in set number 2, the heavy ball hitter.
Big emotion from Elizabeth Shelton, the redshirt freshman. Slide to Gates. Finds an opening.
Execution not perfect. That ball a little bit close to the net from Sarah Sponsel, but Matt Gates with a good reach, long arms. She's got that 6'3" frame. Good reach, and she's able to just punch that through.
Backs at the Denny, she has to tip it. Little Bushler in the back. Denny again, this time, the timing in the set, perfect.
Confidence breeds confidence, and you've got Shelton for Arizona who gets her team going, and now look at Denny kind of picking up on the momentum. Great things happening. You've got Martin out there, the libero, making great digs, great defense, and Patterson setting a great game.
Bushler off the block. Takes a little bit off of that one. Both sides have the block working. Dalkey out of the back, and she just misses long. Point goes back to the Bruins.
I like the idea. The opportunity was there. Just a hitting error by Kendra Dalkey, but I love that. She shakes it off. She knows it.
Whipple straight down, but Muno was there. And just long, they'll say, for Jenny Moser.
Moser wanted a touch, no touch there. Good back corner idea, but just long.
Boy, she was close.
Yep.
Bruins coming in off of a win against Washington State. They won that one 3-1, and then they had the loss at Washington.
Michael Seeley gonna bring out his challenge card. That one was close. It was a great shot selection by Moser, which you come to appreciate, that she has good shot selection. And this will be a review as to whether the ball was in or out, or is it regarding a touch at the net.
Tied up 14 apiece here in set 2. Back and forth it has gone. Both sides have the block working better. Well, from that angle, I'd say it went long, but
you're looking for the touch on this by Denny.
Well, I don't believe I see a touch, but
Moser immediately thought she had one, but hitters oftentimes do think that.
Yeah, she was asking. See if they can definitively come up with it. But, you know, these challenges are interesting, though, because it does take time to make sure you want to make the right call. If you're, you know, our referee, Ryan McDowell, he wants to make the right call. But if there's a momentum shift one way or the other, right now we're all tied up. But This can also, no matter what the outcome is, it can turn a match the other direction.
And this is a heck of a set too, right? I mean, Arizona's coming into their own, and they're playing the Arizona volleyball that everybody knows that they can because they have the talent. And I think a lot of that was sparked by Shelton coming in this set number 2. Great hitting percentage. Just a job well done.
Boy, there might have been a little bit of a touch. It's just
So close to call.
tough to see sometimes with the slow motion. But the band is here. The fans are here. We're having a good time.
Well, you know, the challenge call at 14 apiece, right? Michael Seeley knows he's up 1-0. You go into intermission with a 2-0 lead on the road, that's a game changer. They're going to get the touch call. Ryan McDowell sees it. So good call by Michael Seeley to challenge that. And let's see, Dave Rubio can't believe it. Let's see what happens after this serve.
He's going to chat with Ryan McDowell a little bit. He's like, I don't think I like this review system. What's up with this?
His track record's pretty good in this match so far.
Yeah, but a great decision made though by Michael Seeley and talking with his team, and you do basically sometimes just have to say, are you sure? Should I do this? So now it is 15-13, a 2-point lead. And that changes the vibe. When you go 14-14, now you're up 2 if you're UCLA here in set 2. You see if the Wildcats have an answer. We're going to take a break. So we'll take the timeout. We got a close one here in set 2. We'll have the rest right after this.
You're watching Pac-12 Los Angeles.
Back in Tucson, Arizona. Got some beach volleyball going on outside. And it's definitely a beautiful, warm evening. And we're having a good time inside McHale Center. Dave Rubio's team down 2 here in set 2 after losing set 1. And he's had a struggle with the review and the challenges, Tammy Blackburn. They just have not gone his way. Let's see if the Wildcats can regroup out of the timeout. Whipple thought she was going to get a touch, but they'll say nope. It's long.
So UCLA turns the tables and able to score right after winning a challenge. We'll take that one from Arizona. Oh, tough serve by Sarah Sponsel.
Off the top of the tape, out of the back row, and a nice finish from Kendra Dahlke.
I'll tell you, if Kendra Dahlke, Elizabeth Shelton, and a few others can continue to take great swings like this out of the back, Dahlke right down the middle, big seam there in the back row.
She's been actually hitting better in conference play. I find it interesting. She and Bushler's numbers, hitting percentage for Bushler has been up since Pac-12 play. Kill numbers for Dahlke up since. I mean, you don't see that happen. Usually the numbers tend to go down
because everybody, especially those 2 players, Bushler and Dahlke, because everybody's focusing in on them, right? You could say the same. Last week we saw Oregon State's Mary Kate Marshall. Everybody focuses in on her, but some players will take the pressure off those players, and sometimes it, inspires them, puts a little bit less pressure. And you're seeing Dahlke and Bushler perform at a very high level.
Service error by Jenny Moser gives it back to the Wildcats. Both teams with 5 errors. And now a 2-point lead for the Bruins. There's Julia Patterson. Short, quick, in the middle.
Good reaction by Shelton.
Kyra Rogers working hard up there. She and May. There's May off the block. Dahlke barely got a hold of it. Tries to save it. Big hustle, but they just can't keep it in.
I think Elizabeth Shelton continuing to do some great thing, looking for coverage there, but that's just ball control right there for Dahlke in the back row. Just kind of hit off the tip of her fingers, went right through the little bit of the hole in her hand.
So Dave Rubio calls a timeout with the Bruins up by 3 here in set 2. And this UCLA team ranked 13th. You mentioned it earlier, Tammy. 7 teams in the top 25. There are the Buffs at the 25 spot, Utah in 17, and Oregon 16. USC the 15. There's UCLA. How about the Huskies in the 9 spot and the Stanford Cardinal, number 2 in the nation. And Washington was picked in the preseason to win the conference season. They did it last year, but how about the Stanford Cardinal? They just kept rolling in the tournament, and they ended up winning the national championship. It's our top 10.
Yeah, there you see Stanford in that number 2 slot.
And Florida's still undefeated.
Yeah, unblemished record. It is important to point out that the NCAA RPI comes into play.
Yeah.
Remember, and with the first release of the NCAA RPI, 11 of the 12 Pac-12 teams, Krista, they appear in the top 75, and that's crucial because RPI matters. That's including 7 of those teams in the top 20. That's more than any other conference. I want to note that Oregon leads that way with the number 9 RPI, and we're going to show you that right now. This is crucial when you think about, season here. We're about, 3-4 weeks into conference play here, and these teams so good, and the rankings, you're beating up on each other, good teams. There's that note at the bottom, 7 teams in the top 20, again, most out of any conference.
8 teams made it into the NCAA tournament last year, and out of the timeout, a service error, so that's a break for the Wildcats. You can see Michael Seeley talking with Kyra Rogers. Sometimes it just doesn't feel right coming off. May with the tip. Whipple out of the back. Backs at the Bushler. She gets the touch, gets the point.
Beautiful footwork by Zana Muno to understand as a libero. She cannot step on that line, so she picks up her left foot, recognizing where she is to be able to set that back set to Bushler, who's able to terminate. I love it. Great recognition. That's just a veteran player.
Block by the Bruins. And Dalkey flying in hard off the block, and the Wildcats take it back. She's got a lot of power. And it's really just a matter of, Dave Rubio said, her really managing her game better, just cutting down the errors. And this set 2's been very solid for her. Kenna Martin. Gates. The Wildcats give the free ball. Bushler flying in, catching the back line. Wow.
Just a power hitter. And I will tell you, we haven't even noted that Sarah Sponsel, who continues to set a great set again in set 2, comes into this week's play ranked 24th in the nation in assists per set. And she has these great hitters around her, and she is just putting up hittable ball after hittable ball, controlling that offense. And Riley Bushler is successful because of it. All things coming together nicely for UCLA.
8th service ace on the season for Riley Bushler, and Dave Rubio calls another timeout, trying to slow things down. You mentioned her mom, Lindsay, a setter at Arizona. How about her dad, Judd? He played basketball here. Very successful basketball player alongside some greats, and then he also played some pro basketball as well. He's got his name up in the Raptors next to Sean Elliott, Steve Kerr, some greats, and he was one of them for certain. 12 years as a professional player, 3 championships with the Bulls, and he's an assistant coach now with the LA Lakers.
Another former men's basketball player.
So mom and dad played for the Wildcats, but her grandparents went to UCLA, so she's keeping the Bruins in the family that way, and I'm sure they had her back. You don't want to go anywhere at the Pac-12 Intermission. It's Kate Rooney. She'll be standing by our Pac-12 Network studios, going to talk some football, the preview for our Saturday matchups, and a lot of volleyball matchups across the country. Everybody will be paired up this Friday in Pac-12 volleyball. We had a close set here as the Bruins have pulled away just a little bit, back and forth for a while. And miscommunication in the back between Whipple and Dalkey.
You know, one of the keys that was on the dry erase board for Dave Rubio in the locker room is they absolutely, in order to beat UCLA, had to win the serve and pass game. And they're not able to do that, which is why they've been out of system. And that was a crucial point for UCLA. They can almost turn the corner here.
Bump set to Moser. Back set to Shelton. She goes wide, and it goes out. And Bushler will continue to serve it up. Elizabeth Shelton, the redshirt freshman, redshirted last year. High school All-American.
Had her jersey retired in high school.
Tough service, another ace. Number 9 on the season for Riley Bushler.
Here we are again for UCLA, set point number 1. They could go into intermission up 2-0 over the Wildcats on the road.
How about another one? Back-to-back service aces, and that's the finish of set number 2. Riley Bushler getting it done for the Bruins. And they go up 2-0.
I'm certainly going to talk to Dave Rubio about serve and pass game. He's obviously got to clean that up.
Numbers for Riley Bushler. Hitting is there. We just saw the service aces, so doing a little damage in that category as well. We're joined now by the head coach of the Wildcats, Dave Rubio. And Dave, I know this one didn't go exactly the way you wanted. It was very close there for a while, though. What were some of the things that held you in set 2 there for a long time?
Well, I think the weather's really nice. I think it's a little warm outside for this time of year, but I think that the weather at this point is going to start cooling down, and it's going to be a great time to visit Tucson.
Dave, you talked to us on the phone about you got to win the serve and pass game in order to beat a team like UCLA. What do you go in down 2-0 and talk to your team about in terms of serve and pass, which is where it starts?
Well, we're probably going to practice tomorrow around 1:30 and start preparing for USC, and probably spend a little bit of time on serving and passing.
Yeah, absolutely. We appreciate you taking some time. You did it in Cal and came back. We'll see what happens in this one.
Thank you.
Dave Rubio obviously frustrated. He knows his team's better than what they're showing there. Down 2-0 to UCLA. Don't go anywhere. Kate Rooney's in our Pac-12 Network studios. She's got a lot for you after this. Welcome back to McHale Center for Spike Night, presented by Todd Chikara. Number 13, UCLA is up 2-0 over the Arizona Wildcats. We're joined now by the head coach of the Bruins, Michael Seeley. And Mike, your team just came out. You said sometimes you had a slow start. I'm assuming you were pretty pleased with the way they came out right from the very beginning.
Yeah, first set was awesome. Played great defense, had a lot of long rallies that we stayed in and won, so I was very happy with the first set.
Michael, down the block, you've got 324 in terms of hitting percentage. Riley Bushler, 533. Kyber Rogers, 500. Jenny Mosier's hitting 0, but she's got 20 attempts. What more can you do? We know she's got the talent. What more can she do here in this set number 3 to just be a little bit more effective?
Yeah, she was falling into the trap of maybe dragging the ball down into the block. I think she had some opportunities to kind of go fast, high seam and kind of drag the ball into a line blocker, but we've spoken about it, and she's doing a lot of other things great.
All right, great. Thanks so much for giving us your time.
Thank
we
you.
appreciate it. So the Bruins up 2-0. They have not won here in a very long time, Tammy. Since 2010, it's been quite a streak here in Tucson for the Wildcats. There are the numbers for our Spike Night stars.
Yeah, look at the tandem there. Riley Bushler and Madeline Gates, 8 kills apiece, and Bushler's hitting 533, and a great number there for 389 at Gates. Kendra Dalkey doing what she can, but it's been mostly out of system. They are not receiving the serve very well. The passing is very, very difficult, so Kendra Dalkey not going to have the numbers that we normally would like to see her. That 4 ace number there, 4 aces under Riley Bushler, spectacular, but we've almost come to expect that from Riley Bushler. That's what she delivers, match in and match out.
So we'll see if the leader, Kendra Dalkey, and for the Wildcats can regroup here in set number 3. Madeline Gates standing by, the sophomore out of San Diego. And she was very good, just the one attacking error for her. As Shelton will come back out. They'll make their changes to their lineup. McKenna Martin, the libero, got the start tonight instead of Kimberly Gutierrez. I think she's done a nice job. She's had a couple of errors, but she's gotten her hand on a lot.
Yeah, and we've seen Gutierrez in the match in obviously a different position, more of a defensive specialist position there, but you love the way the two can compete, and I think Martin was doing a lot of extra work in that first set in particular, and a lot of that was coming from just, not being very well organized, but you want Martin to take that first ball and be able to get that ball up to Julia Patterson, who is 15 of 63 with 238 in terms of setting percentage.
Katie Smoot comes in number 6 in white for the Wildcats and makes an immediate impact. She's a player that Dave Rubio told us, I might give her some extra time. She might see some playing time in this one.
He was very high on her, and again, you're starting to see Katie Smoot, Elizabeth Shelton, the talent, across the board, the young talent. We saw Candace Denny come in. She's also a freshman. We saw her come in the second set. He is giving his players opportunities to show what they can do. Paige Whipple, yet another freshman. So the youth of this team, but remember, they give them 52% of their kills for Arizona.
Service error by Whipple gives it back to the Bruins. Cross in the middle, just misses the back line. Nice idea, but could not finish. Devin Cross, the sophomore, played in 35 matches last year, led this team in total blocks, had 114. They go to her again, and I like that call right there.
And it's quick, and it's a good high reach, right? She had full extension there, so she'll come out. Candace Denny going to come in. But watch this approach, real long arms, nice arm swing, opened up her right shoulder. Good short serve.
Yeah. Martin, slide from Gates, the block sends it back. Good hustle from the Bruins, and there's the block again. That was something that really helped the Wildcats in set number 2.
Yeah, they had 2 blocks to UCLA's 1 team blocks in terms of that. And I mentioned earlier, last week before the Bay, they were ranked 18th nationally, Arizona was, in blocks. They were not effective in the Bay Area last week in that statistical category, but they can be, and that is a game changer for them. A service ace for Arizona puts them in the lead in this set number 3, which is a must win for them.
McKenna Martin, her 6th ace on the season. Sophomore out of Gilbert, Arizona. Back set to the middle. Bruins just keep getting a hand on everything. Bushler tries the tip. Good hustle from Patterson.
Yeah, great coverage.
Whipple out of the back. Free ball to the Wildcats. Smoot again. What an angle she has.
Yeah, a very good angle. But, again, Martin was right there doing the work. Now that's a clean in system opportunity here for Arizona. Martin over to Patterson. Patterson, who has so much capability to set a great ball. And Smoot with the closure.
Wildcats with a 2-point lead. There's the block. It's out of bounds. Now it goes back to the Bruins.
Bushler off the hands of the block. Does that so well. Riley Bushler, who must feel pretty proud when she comes into McHale Center and sees her dad's banner hanging in the rafters here.
Definitely so. Dalkey off the block. Good hustle from Muno. And the block gets a piece of it, but it goes out of bounds, so the Bruins will tie it up. Jenny Moser, freshman from Lakeville, Minnesota. They go to her again. Nice up from Martin.
Good idea.
Moser with some contact straight down.
She's able to get a clean look there, and I like when we had asked Michael Seeley about Moser and not being able to have a hitting percentage that she wants. That she does some other things well, and that's why you leave her out there. That's why you give her the opportunity. She's a freshman who's learning, and she's been very good at the net.
Slide to Gates. Dalkey gets a hand on it. Great hustle by Denny. And the Wildcats get the touch.
Katie Smoot, who has good height at 6'2", out of Belmont, California. Good athletic ability, learning how to train and play at this level. The more opportunities she gets and time on the floor, the better she will improve.
Dahlke, quick swing. Bushler. The Bruins send it back. This time, what an angle. And another pretty up. That time it was Simo. The slide from Candace. You can't give her that many chances.
Nice job by Patterson on the backslide there. The footwork had to be right. You really appreciate the effort here because Denny had been running around quite a bit in that rally, and she was tired, a bit gassed after she executed that slide play.
So tied up again. Good time and play from Katie Smoot, a freshman from Belmont, California. Coach Rubio told us she's got a good serve, and she definitely does. She's got more than that.
Good ball control by Gutierrez, who comes in, and good execution there, but the block is there.
Denny had a long stride going on that one, and she's looking a bit tired. They've been going to her quite a bit.
Trying to use her off of 1 foot. Comes around and just really that turn right there. Good timing.
And a tough serve from Zana Muno. That's her third ace on the season. As it was Gutierrez able to get a hand on it, but then it was sent to no one.
And Rubio, you can see frustrated, just having an opportunity to build on a lead, a small lead, but UCLA taking it right back away from the Wildcats.
Dahlke off the block. Bruins again. What a save. It was Moser. And Patterson tries to dump. Bruins digging everything.
Bushler with a dig and then an attack out of the back. Look at this rally.
It's a great rally, and Patterson was there, but a one-on-one, and the finish by the Bruins. Michael Seeley up on that one.
Yeah, and he likes it. I tell you who he's clapping for, his team, but he's really clapping for Jenny Moser, the freshman, because she did a lot of important things. She gets rewarded at the end by terminating on that kill.
Savi Simo as well. Great D by the Bruins. They've got the lead here in set number 3.
Pac-12 Los Angeles.
Pac-12 women's volleyball is presented by Tachikara. We've got the ball, you bring the game. Back in Tucson, fans have made their way to McHale Center. It's the Zona Zoo Night. It's also Spike Night, presented by Tachikara and number 13 UCLA on the road. And they are up 2-0, have a 3-point lead here in set 3. UCLA, this is their first road trip in Pac-12 play as they started things off against USC and Oregon. And then they faced both Washington and Washington State, so they had 4 in a row at home and now have to hit the road.
Candace Denny terminating on that slide play again off of 1 foot, and it's all because Gutierrez, and she checked in. She has given some great passing to Patterson, who is able to connect with Denny on that slide play.
And a free ball sent back over to the Bruins.
Oh, good read by Rogers. It's the second time we've seen her make an adjustment in air, a high flyer. Watch the hang time. And then she just at the last minute puts to the right, to the left side of Paige Whipple. No defense there in the front.
Great communication between Sponsel and Rogers, and a tough serve by the Bruins. They have served very well in this match.
I do like how Arizona is able to use Candace Denny, the freshman middle on that slide. It's made them look different. It has caught UCLA off balance. They're trying to just stay in this crucial set number 3. Otherwise, UCLA will walk away with a road sweep.
That ace to Sponsel, that's her 6th on the year, and Wildcats not able to complete the play.
Dave Rubio likely to call a timeout, and there it is.
He does.
As UCLA pulls away, this is obviously a wise timeout. Meanwhile, on the other sideline, Michael Seeley giving everybody who comes off the court a round of high fives. He has to be incredibly pleased with the effort, the connection. You know, Krista, all things clicking right now, and I think what you could say for UCLA is offense and defense coming together so nicely. They are able to get in transition and stay in system.
And we talked to Mike Seeley about all of those things. He's got to be happy. You know, there's college football going on right now across the Pac-12. Oregon State and ranked number 14 USC on Saturday. And then it'll be Arizona, the Wildcats, pairing up against the Colorado Buffaloes. You don't want to miss that. It's going to be a fun Saturday between these two matchups. 1 Pacific, 2 Mountain Time, and then 5 Pacific, 6 Mountain Time right here on Pac-12 Network.
Of course, we know what is on the mind of USC is to come back after losing at the Palouse on a Friday night football game under the lights. There's the North standings and the South standings. Washington in at number 6. Washington State with a big win. Those two overall 5-0 unbeaten. And how about the Utah Utes? Out of the South standings, ranked 20th. They are 1-0 in conference and 4-0 overall.
Pretty impressive. Very competitive. Fans are having a fun time here as we take a look at the numbers after set 3 stats rather. And Arizona in comparison, just really it's really a matter of errors, and just the hitting percentage has been better for the Bruins. Arizona's got to clean some things up.
7 service errors for Arizona, but 6 service errors for UCLA. However, it is 8 service aces for the Bruins.
Slide play to Candace Denny, and trying to use the block, and instead sends that one long.
Sarah Watanabe in for the Arizona Wildcats.
Yeah, number 15 in white, redshirt sophomore. Whipple, good angle, gets the point.
Good job by Martin, the libero of Arizona, once again to step in front of Watanabe to make sure that she gets the pass that they want, because she knows that they can go to work up at the net, and that is effective as Arizona picks up the point.
And the serve just goes long for the Wildcats, so another service error. We'll give it back to UCLA. You know, the big thing I think that we got from both of these coaches, and this is what we get from most of the coaches, and Michael Seeley says their biggest battle has been ball control. And we talked to Dave Rubio for Arizona, and we've got to serve and pass in this. These areas are just the big key. They say, I know it's boring, you don't want to hear it, but that's really the most important factor.
It's where it all starts. 8 service errors for Arizona after that last one. Too many free points for the other team. And when you're going up against the 13th ranked team in the nation, you can't gimme.
Jenny Moser back to serve, and that one goes long. So it goes right back to the Wildcats.
You know, Michael Seeley will talk too about these 7 service errors for UCLA thus far as well. This is uncharacteristic of UCLA.
Serve from Julia Patterson. And they'll call double contact against the Bruins, so a break for the Wildcats. They pull within 5.
Great effort by Buechler.
Cross in the middle. Haven't gone to her a whole lot. It's off of her, out of bounds. It'll go to the Bruins.
I love the short serve opportunity there by Arizona, and that one went off the tape, and Buechler just had to make a second effort to make sure that ball was up, and she gets it right over the net. And then the ensuing play, Buechler gets rewarded for her effort with the kill off the Arizona block.
Serve from Kyra Rogers. Cross in the middle, catches the back line. Wait, that one was she was coming down already and somehow still able to finish.
It's the reach. She's got good height. She's got good ability to adjust in there. That's Devin Cross, the sophomore.
She touches 10-6. Back set to McMay.
McMay, who has been quiet. First set, had a couple of good swings, but she's been quiet as of late. But watch this power right through the defense of Arizona.
Back set to Katie Smoot. Every time she's come in and every swing she's taken, she's gotten a point.
And I really like what's happening with Arizona right now. In this third set, they look different. Smoot didn't play the first 2 sets. They come in, we see good things out of her. Candace Denny is able to be effective off the slide as well. So this has been a change for Arizona. Bright spot for them.
Good serve from Martin. Quick in the middle, go, Candace Denny.
You could see that coming right there, and it all started with a great pass. Patterson was there. She got to her spot. She knew it. Denny was ready for it. Really good rhythm, great cadence, but again, point to Martin for doing a lot of work. She is working so hard to get the right pass to Patterson.
Martin goes short on this one. There's Gates off the block.
Martin has to take the second.
Bumps at the Dalkey. Moser saves it out of the back. And Riley Bushler with the finish.
Bushler leads the team, 3.17 kills per set, is third with 2.5 digs per set. Tied for third with 7 service aces. What doesn't she do? And she's a good blocker too.
We almost got one there. Slide to Gates. Whipple out of the back. And the Bruins decide to go to the back as well. And it's Riley Bushler.
And why not? She recorded a season best 21 kills and just 1 error in 43 attempts against Washington State. Hit .465, we told you off the top of this show. Look at Smoot.
Smoot, impressive every time.
Athletic ability, good mechanics, great arm, right in the middle of the defense. Bushler was there, but that was a heavy ball.
A solid jump serve. Slide to Denny. Out to Moser, who finds the back corner.
Moser's been better in terms of her hitting. She's done a lot of important things. Very good defensively. We've seen her make some great digs. But her hitting has been sharp here in the third set.
Muno back to serve. Whipple out of the back. That's a tough angle, and she gets the point. Wildcats not going away. And there's Kendra Dalkey. Rogers hoping for a touch. They'll say no.
Didn't get it. Set number 3, not over. Arizona trying to make it close.
Rogers has so much power. Very athletic. Pass off the mark, joust at the net, and it's won by Paige Whipple.
Yeah, the overpass by Bushler, which is rare. A tough call.
And Mike Seeley says, okay, let's regroup. Let's take a break. He's going to talk things over with Sarah Sponsel. And a good time for a timeout. We're so glad you could be with us here for Spike Night. Chris Blunt, along with Tammy Blackburn. And Tammy, I like the fight in this Arizona team, and that's something that Coach Rubio told us, is that they don't give up. They don't just hang their heads. They are trying, but just a few too many errors here and there, and some solid serving from the Bruins.
You can see the talent on this Arizona team. They are young. They are really young, but they have these stints of brilliance. They just can't take it back from UCLA when they need to. And UCLA is a very good team, the number 13th ranked team in the nation, no doubt, and for a good reason. But it's a tough home schedule. It's UCLA and USC here at McKell Center. It's just this revolving door that Dave Rubio describes as his team this year. And you've got the junior Kendra Dalkey, who they lean on. But these young pieces, Krista, you keep these players healthy. The future of this Arizona program as he continues to recruit top classes in the nation.
Well, you see the schedule here, though, too, Tammy, in that Arizona started out 3 of their first 4 on the road. This is they have not been home in quite some time, and so they had lost a few on the road. Now they've got a tough schedule at home. I mean, they're all going to be tough, but at least they're here. They can hopefully regroup a little bit. This schedule so tough as Arizona will face Arizona State. Or excuse me, USC next.
It's a Friday night battle. Yeah, we had talked about Rubio and his staff and recruiting at the highest level, and he mentioned, he said, you know, the talent is there. It's the training we want to focus on. Arizona's 2017 recruiting class by the way, was ranked number 12 nationally by PrepVolleyball.com. Third straight top 15 recruiting classes.
And out of the break, there's Whipple. She's starting to come on.
And a freshman, part of the youth of this Arizona program. And I will tell you, Arizona's not going away in this third set. A great comeback out of the break here.
Michael Seeley told us that Arizona's been his kryptonite. He has had a tough time, and we mentioned that they had not won their last 5 in a row here in Arizona, had lost 3 in a row overall, as they've been able to get a win here or there at home. And they get the point with Kyra Rogers.
Ooh, that was quick. Tough for Arizona to get back in defensively after saving that and getting it over the net. That big hole was there.
It's the Bruins that will face Arizona State next, and then they will face the Bay Area teams, but they will do that on their home floor. And there's a solo block, and those feel so good. Riley Bushler. Match point for number 13 UCLA. Moser with the serve. And the back set across, they'll say it catches the back line, and the Wildcats stay alive. Katie Smoot will check back in. She has been very effective. And it's Julia Patterson back to serve. Try to go to Bushler. Match point number 2, and she gets it. Second time's all it took. And the finish by Riley Bushler. And the streak is over as the Bruins, after losing 5 times here in a row to the Wildcats, get a win here in Tucson. Led by Riley Bushler, the senior, who leads this team in kills, got it done tonight. She's talking to her team. This is a big win, and they know it. Never easy to go out on the road. And they start things off right. They will now face Arizona State next. And for the Wildcats, they have to regroup. They have USC coming in here on Friday. And we will have that one for you as well here on Pac-12 Network. So a tough one for the Wildcats tonight, as Riley Bushler, the numbers, 15 kills for her, hitting 500. She had 4 service aces. Really, the service aces did a lot of damage, and 4 digs also. Just a great all-around game. That was her 11th double kill match of the season. She's had 7 of them in a row, and with 15 kills here tonight, she just continues to roll. We're going to take a break, and when we come back, we will have a little bit more and finish things up here from McHale Center right after this on Pac-12 Network. It's the number 13 UCLA Bruins with the sweep over the Wildcats.
Saturday at noon with the pregame show on Pac-12 Network.
Tough loss for the Wildcats here at Arizona. Number 13 UCLA comes in, and they get this sweep tonight. 3-0. Chris Lunk and Tammy Blackburn. And Tammy, it really started out, it was all UCLA Bruins. We knew that Arizona would have a charge here or there, and for the most part, sets 2 and 3, they were tied up and it was back and forth, but something about the Bruins, and I'd say their serving and their passing in particular, just stood out.
Yeah, it was great, and also their defense as well. I thought that Riley Bushler did a fantastic job of kind of setting the tone for this UCLA team, as she oftentimes does. When you take a look statistically at where she was 15 kills, 1 error on 28 attempts. She hit 500. Now, she has great support around her, and I don't think she has to take as heavy as a load for UCLA, so some of those pin hitters, they take pressure off her, and I think she just plays a very freestyle, mind-free game where she can actually just take great swings like this.
She does. She's an incredible leader for this team, and for a young team that is so important to have. And Dave Rubio says that's what he needs from his upperclassmen. They're not consistent enough yet to be able to carry the load of the youth that's around them.
Absolutely, and you can see that they need to be better at serve, receive, and also passing here. You have to win it, but it was Riley Bushler's 4 service aces. And listen, UCLA served really tough. 8 total service aces for UCLA to Arizona's 1, Krista. That's a difference maker. And then the hitting percentage, when you're hitting out of system and you're not getting good passes, you can't really run your offense. So there's Arizona's 196 to UCLA's 336 hitting percentage.
Yeah, 8 service aces, 4 of those going to Riley Bushler, doing her parents, who are Wildcat grads, proud, I'm sure, here tonight. They get the sweep. They go on to face Arizona State. Arizona will now face USC, who comes in, another ranked team. Nothing like jumping into the Pac-12. That's going to do it for us. For Tammy Blackburn and our entire Pac-12 Networks crew, I'm Krista Block saying so long from Tucson. You've been watching Pac-12 Women's Volleyball Spike Night, presented by Todd Chikara. Good night, everybody.